Majority of you say you want to make money, but that word in and of itself is totally incorrect. You do not make money. You take money from other people. Every single dollar, every single naira in your account is what you took from someone else. Now, it might not be illegal, but there was an exchange that led to you keeping the dollar of the other person. So if you want more of this dollar, if you want more of this dollar or naira or whatever currency in your account, you need to provide some kind of service or value. The only people who make money work in the mint or in the Federal Reserve. You, my friend, can't make money. You take money from other people. When you go out and read all this FX book or stock market book, can't you see? I want you to ask yourself, what is the agenda of the author behind this book? Why is he sharing all of his strategy or trading success? Is it just about ego or trying to make the world a better place, as they say? If everybody now sustain this information that once the candlestick is X way, you need to sell. Once the candlestick it should give this signal, it means you have to buy. If everybody now sustains this information in the trading space and is running by this strategy, then that niche has already been exploited. What you don't know is that these people reverse engineer this strategy such that it profits them regardless of how you do it. So it profits them all round. Well, I profited from this strategy. That the question now becomes, how many times did you profit from this strategy? Of course you're going to lose, of course you're going to win sometimes. And mind you, this strategy doesn't benefit one side. It's not beneficial to just you. It's cyclical. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, sometimes the other person wins, sometimes you lose it. Because if it was one side just taking in all the profit, the other people who are losing are going to wake up one day and say, look, this is shit. I've been trying my best every single time and these profits are not forthcoming. I'm going to stop. And as you know, in the trading market, for you to win, someone else has to lose. You buy it at a low price, you sell high. So for you to lose, for you to win, someone else has to lose. And if the losers decides to stop losing by not participating in the market, then they are really not going to be winners. I hope you understand the point I'm trying to convey. So it's cyclical. Sometimes people win, sometimes people lose. That's the whole point of trading. And like any other system, it works at first, then devolves into this gradual decline. Take the monarchy, for instance. The monarchy was established out of despise or out of contempt for a tyrannical leader. The first king wants to do his best, so he does his best. Everything is right. The people are fine. The taxes are not that high. The second king is not that good, but he tries his best. The third king, not that good, but he tries his best. The grandson now becomes tyrannical because he's a spoiled brat. Everybody revolts. They end the monarchy, revert back to a democratic system, which they despise initially. So you see how it is cyclical. The same thing with this system. It is good at first, then a gradual decline before you leave it completely. Majority of you do not understand that we reach with this is something people don't understand, and this is a question I get often. The rich will keep getting richer and the poor will keep getting poorer. Let me explain this to you. If the government was to hand out thousands of dollars to every single one of you, we see this scenario I'm about to paint is akin to what happened in the Biden administration during the pandemic. So they were handing out this stimulus check. People were receiving without producing anything in return. Not only is inflation a consequence of that action, but it is another kind of wealth transfer. Once that stimulus check drops in, 75% of you are going to spend it, 15% are going to save, the rest of the 10% are going to invest. So 75% spending that money. Majority of you actually have needs. Perhaps you're going to you need it for groceries, perhaps you need it for Walmart, or you need it for something important. So who's getting all the profit? Walmart is those big grocery stores are. Who owns a chunk of Walmart stores? The rich people. Some of you who are middle income earners who have your groceries taken care of and other basic amenities. You say, oh, I'm going to give it to Gucci, I'm going to give it to Louis Vuitton, I'm going to go and buy all of these fancy things so that I can flex on Instagram. When you go out and buy all those purchases, you're only making Bernard Arnault rich, you're making his shareholders rich. So you see how that spending in and of itself profits the rich people, regardless of how you look at it. Let's take the other 10%, the other 15% who would save. You're saving all your money, you're getting maybe 1 to 2% return. And mind you, I'm being very generous here. 2% return and inflation is at 4%. You're still losing. Who's getting to keep all those profits? And you know, as you know, the bank are liable to they're liable to the amount you deposit. Because of this thing called the fractional reserve system, the bank are liable to only 10% of your initial deposit. So the rest of 90%, more of it can be created and lent to other customers. And if those new customers decides to deposit this newly created money, another another loan can be created from that newly deposit, because according to the fractional reserve law, new deposit and new deposit, so it's all paper backed up on paper. It's a giant bubble that's going to burst very soon. It's the same thing we see in the 2008 marketing crash. Everybody was investing, giving out subprime mortgages, giving out loans to people, not vetting them properly in order to make out that loan. So they were just doing it to consume on their loss. But this is beyond that information is beyond the scope of this video. So 10% of you are investing it. It's not doing you any good in the bank. The rest of the 10%, my apologies, the 15% are saving. So the rest of the 10% who invest. Say you invest in the stock market, for instance. Everybody has this stock. Everybody now has this newly printed money. So in order to purchase the stock, if I have this money and I have something you want, it's only common sense for me to inflate the price and put it in a kind of auction system. The highest bidder gets the product. So everybody's bidding this stock high. Who has most of this stock? Jeff Bezos. That's why it's fucking balling out and tearing down bridges so that his yacht can pass. So the rich have most of this stock, and you are bidding them high in order to get access to these stocks. Say real estate, all of you and your four friends contribute this mini stimulus check to buy a unit or to take one unit out of the rental properties. Who now has or who has a chunk of the rental properties in that area? Grant Cardone does, Robert Kiyosaki does. So all you're doing is inflating the prices of those asset classes when you invest. Now your question would be, should I invest? If it's always going to keep making the rich richer, why bother investing? I'm going to tell you why in a second. You should invest because investing would make the rich richer, but you just placed yourself in the same category as the rich, such that the next person who enters into that investment would make you rich as well. So investing, not investing at all, is a terrible mistake. Try to traverse the board and go to the side, to the other end of the reach, so that you yourself can profit over every entry someone makes. It ties back to my point of people using logical solutions to solve problems. Logical solutions don't work. They've always been tried and it has failed. That's what anyone will try and do. Use psychological solutions to solve problems. Instead of making the train faster, make the experience more enjoyable. One costs billions of dollars, the other pennies relatively. So make the make the experience more enjoyable instead of making the train faster. I hope you got a lot of value from this video. As always, my friends, the pleasure speaking to you. See you in the next one.